Very good evening to you and welcome to Weekend Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando. We are coming to live and direct from here at Studio R, which is located in Rainbow Place, Colombo.
And I'm Bandit Jai Singh. Very good evening to you. Let's now take a look at headlines.
Presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa reassures of a political framework backed by a fresh team devoid of deals.
දූෂණයෙන් තොර, වංචාවෙන් තොර, හොරකමින් තොර, ප්‍රෝඩාවෙන් තොර පිරිසිදු කණ්ඩායමක් සම්බන්ධ කරගෙන දේශ සේවය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නට අප වෙනවා, කැප වෙනවා.
Presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa says local industries will be prioritized. Opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa meets Pillayan in Batiklo. Money laundering charges against family members of the former chief of the police FCID. Sea waves hit the roads along the Galle-Colombo road between Akurala and Telwatta. Flow of traffic affected. IS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi killed in US attack.
Presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Minister Sajid Premadasa, attended several public rallies today.
This was a welcome received by Sajid Premadasa when he arrived at the public rally in Galigamua, Kegol. NDF presidential candidate reminded the challenge he made to his opponent to participate in an open debate. I have on many days invited him. I have sent a letter as well. If you have a backbone, come for an open debate with Sajid Premadasa. Some people can produce what someone else has written. They can bring bundles of books and present saying this is what we are going to do. They can present something someone else has done. Our opponent has also done the same thing. He has no clue about his policy statement. We can discuss all of this in a very disciplined, organized manner. We can hold a very intellectual debate where the whole country will be able to see this on all television networks. The son of Ranasinghe Premadasa, Sajid Premadasa, is ready for this. I am even ready to do this with 500 or 1000 people representing my opponent. I will come alone. Social media is used to make various false claims. The networks that air false news tries to make them real. These false networks edit certain clips and transmit it to the whole country. They are doing this to make their candidate victorious. They have a personal agenda. We are ready to reveal those in the future. We will make the agendas of these media networks that spread false news public. We will show the reality to the people of this country.
අපි ජනගත කරනවා රටේ ජනතාවට ඒ සත්‍ය අපි ඉදිරි කාලයේදී පෙන්වලා දෙන්නට කටයුතු කරනවා.
Presidential candidate of the NDF then arrived in the Mawatagam area for another public rally. The students who receive the degree from the technical college will receive a financial capital to commence new businesses, new employment opportunities and self-employment opportunities. This is how we will create the digital revolution in the country. Through this digital revolution, we will not only create an impact in Sri Lanka, but in the world market as well. We will make Sri Lanka the #1 country when it comes to the digital sector. We will commit ourselves to achieve this. Do not fear. My astrology and my stars are all good. The public will become victorious on the 16th.
සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාසගේ ලග්නයත් හොඳයි, හෝරාවත් හොඳයි, දසාවත් හොඳයි. බය වෙන්න එපා. 16 වෙනිදාට හැමදේම සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ මේ රටේ පොදු ජන යුගය දිනවන්නටයි.
Sajid Premadasa also arrived at a public rally in Homagama last evening.
සමහරෙක් හිතන්නට පුළුවන්
Some may think that the same set of people who are here for 4 to 5 years will govern the country. We will topple this upside down. We will have a massive change. In this change, we will have a corruption-free, clean set of people. We will not do politics. Instead, we will serve the people. Some may think we are doing this with the old people. I'm not ready for that. There will be an untainted set of people to provide justice to the general public. I'm not a person who can be suppressed. When I was being given the candidacy, many people attempted to suppress me. I said, give it without any conditions or else keep it. I'm not a person who would reach political deals with anyone.
මම එකක් කියන්න කැමති මම කාත් එක්කවත් පොලිටිකල් ඩීල් දාන්න පුද්ගලෙක් නෙවෙයි
මේ රටේ ස්වෛරීභාවය භෞමික අඛණ්ඩභාවය
I will ensure to protect the sovereignty, integrity, security of property, the government and the property of the government. We will create a separate force to eradicate the drug menace. They will have special training and they will ensure that the drug menace will not rise its head again in the country. In 2 months, you will feel that the drug menace is being controlled. We will eradicate it completely within 2 years. We will assure you of that. There will be no room for terrorism in the country. The army and the forces will be strengthened to ensure this.
සියලුම අවශ්‍ය පියවර අරන් අපේ හමුදා බලසේනා සියල්ලම ශක්තිමත් කරනවා.
Presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna Gotabaya Rajapaksa attended a series of rallies in the Matale district today.
විශ්වය පුරා විහිදී ගියා බුදු ජන ජයරාවේ අපි වෙනුවෙන් අපි අතරම නැගෙන බලාපොරොත්තුව මේ ජනහද දිනු
Gotabaya Rajapaksa was given a warm reception despite the heavy rains that affected the area.
අභිමන්දරු ගෝඨාභය නාමේ වැඩ කරන අපේ විරුවා බෞද්ධිමට පෙමින් සවදා රට රකින්න කෙනෙක් බේරම් ඒ ඔබයි උතුම් මිනිසා වැඩ කරන අපේ විරුවා බෞද්ධිමට පෙමින් සවදා රට රකින්න කෙනෙක් බේරම් ඒ ඔබයි උතුම් මිනිසා
According to our plan, we will give priority to local industries. We have the best plants in the world, but the prices of these fell in the global markets. That is why you cannot get a good price for these and they are currently in storage. The government must intervene to get a good market for this. We must be able to get a good market for Ceylon tea and Ceylon pepper. We must do some value addition to these products like pepper. The government must intervene and conduct experiments on how the yield can be increased. Experiments can be done on how these can be dried using modern methods. This is how we can put a good product into the market and get a higher price for it. We must also look into how these goods are transported and how these goods are stored. This is how we can improve the quality of our goods and get a good price. Our professionals have examined these and that is how we know these things. If we create a good market for these, people can get involved in the industry as a sole proprietor and directly contribute to our economy through that. This is our policy.
ඒ අය තමන්ගේ ස්ව උත්සාහයෙන්ම මේ ආර්ථිකයට සම්බන්ධ වෙනවා. මේක තමයි අපේ ප්‍රතිපත්තිය.
විස්මිත ලෙසින් විස්කම්මවා එළයේ අභිමානේ පෙන්වා දෙමින් මුළු ලොව දින අපහා යන ගම.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa then attended a rally in Rathata.
ඉන්න නැවතී මව්බිම අපේ රැකදෙන විරුවානනේ වැඩ කරන අපේ විරුවා මව්බිමට පෙමින් සවදා රට රකින්න කෙනෙක් බේරම් ඒ ඔබයි උතුම් මිනිසා වැඩ කරන අපේ විරුවා මව්බිමට පෙමින් සවදා රට රකින්න කෙනෙක් බේරම් ඒ ඔබයි උතුම් මිනිසා.
Speaking at the rally, Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that he will ensure national security in the country.
In the past, we increased the security in the country. This cabinet of ministers who have no idea on national security caved into foreign influence and pressures from the NGOs and destroyed the dignity of our military. They destroyed the security mechanism that we had put in place. They made unfounded allegations against members of the intelligence community and sent them to jail. In the past, we used the police and the CID to find details on national security. But when this government came into power, they used it to go after political rivals. This is the main reason. These people did not give any attention to national security and the safety of the general public, but under our government we will give back the war heroes their dignity and fix the mentality of the tri-forces, the police, the intelligence units and make this country a safe place again. I can tell you that we are the only people who can ensure national security in this country. We care about national security, we care about the war heroes, we care about the police, and we care about the intelligence units.
බුද්ධ්‍යංශ ගැන හැඟීමක් තියෙන යොදන ආරක්ෂක වැඩපිළිවෙල ගැන හැඟීමක් තිබෙන අපට පමණයි මේ රටේ ආරක්ෂාව තාවුරු කරන්න අපිට විතරයි පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ.
විදුනන බලෙන් ලොව පරතනා මිනිස් පෞර සදනා රටදය සදාම විත කරන්නට දුරදැක්.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa also attended a campaign rally in Laggala.
Global economics. Look at the gem industry. If we develop this industry from the point that the gems are mined and polished, we can bring in a massive amount of foreign revenue. We have burdened the miners unnecessarily. We have to make the process of obtaining licenses easier.
පතල්කරුවන්ට මේවා අපි පහසු කරන්නට ඕන බලපත්‍ර ලබා ගැනීම.
Presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Anurukumar Dissanayake, met with the Young Professionals Association yesterday.
ලට කතා බහ ඇතුළේ ඉඩක් තියෙනවද? එහෙම නැත්නම් අපේ රටේ තියෙන ඉඩ පහසුකම් අනුව ඒක මේ තියෙන විදිහටම අපිට ඕනි බෙහෙත් ටික පිටින්ම ගෙනවා ඒ වගේද ඉස්සරහට යන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. ඒතර අපි තෝරාගත යුතු.
We first have to identify the sectors that we need to import, what items we should produce, and the sectors we need to target with our exports. We can come up on top in those sectors if we properly assess the data and information in these fields.
ඉලක්ක කරගන්න මේ ශේත්‍රයේ අපට ඒ ජයග්‍රහණය අත්පත් කරගත හැකියි.
එතකොට අපිට මොකක්ද උතුමන්ලාගේ තියෙන බැක්වර්ඩ් ප්‍රතිපත්තිය ටැක්ස් සිස්ටම් එක මේකට වඩා පොඩ්ඩක් සිම්ප්ලිෆයි කරන්න.
මේ සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙන වෙන
What has happened here is simple. We have a national income of $92 billion US. We are trying to earn $12 billion out of this. To earn $12 billion US, we need to maintain an average tax of 15%. I think one of the fundamental features of taxation is that taxes must be simple. We must think about how we should build our image as a country in the global arena. We must look at the duties of our foreign services. Now, the office of an ambassador representing the United States have a wide range of duties. These include creating governments, selecting parties, formulating laws in various countries. Our foreign services do not have to formulate laws in those countries and create disputes within parties in those countries. Therefore, I believe the biggest task of our foreign delegates is to act as our trade representative in those countries.
Presidential candidate of the Janasatha Peramuna, Batramulle Seelaratana Thero, attended a puja at the Vaunia Sahaya Madampuram Kovil today.
We value our country. Our country is very lucky. Hindu devotees visit our temples. Buddhist devotees go to Hindu kovils and obtain blessings. Some parties are working towards destroying this culture. I make a request from all the Tamil people in the north. All of the people in our country should live in peace. Certain politicians are trying to speak about race and nationality and destroy all of this. Do not allow this to happen. Both the Sinhala and the Tamil community have an issue over the murder of cattle. Within 72 hours of becoming the president of this country, I will completely stop the murder of cattle and I will accept the responsibility of protecting the cow who is worshipped by the Hindu community. We must live in peace. Do not be fooled by the words of politicians. Politicians want to destroy this country so that they can live luxurious lives. People like Vigneshwaran and Sumandiran and certain other members of the TNA are trying to pit us against each other and live luxurious lives. I would like to tell the Tamil community that we will not allow this to happen. I wish everyone a very happy Diwali and I wish God's blessings upon all of you.
Presidential candidate of the Janasatha Peramuna, Batharamulle Seelaratana Thera, also conducted a program to inform the people of Jaffna on the upcoming election.
I am contesting the presidential election this year for the third time. The Mahasangha had protected this country from the past until today. Who destroyed the unity between Sinhalese and Tamil people in our country? It was the politicians. They create politics based on hate. Because of this culture of hate, people live in hate. The people who are elected to office through your vote destroy this country so that they can live luxurious lives and continue to prosper. What are these MPs and ministers in the north doing? They have presented demands to divide the country and stir racism in the country. This is one country. We will not allow this country to be broken and divided.
What have these candidates prioritized in their plans for the country? How will they be implemented? Several party representatives expressed these views.
You know about Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He presented his political plan. His top priority is national security, a disciplined country. The biggest problem we have is there's no discipline in this country. Those are his two main priorities. We need a leader like this.
The Rajapaksas say different things before and after election. They have never done anything mentioned in the election manifestos. But we will present Sajid's social revolution. We will begin 3 battles. First one is we will eradicate the drug menace in the country. We will chase the drug lords who operate media organizations. We will chase the drug lords who hold higher positions in religious institutions.
We will cut down President's expenditure head by 90% when the National People's Power movement comes into power. We will cut down the pensions of the MPs. We will put an end to fraud and corruption in the country when we come into power. We will give an amnesty period of 2 months for all politicians and authorities to return the state property they have stolen. If they do that, we will not imprison them for life or sentence them to death. We will not put them to jail because after 2 months, the National People's Power movement will confiscate what they stole and put them to jail.
You're watching Primetime News. It's time for a short commercial break.
As soon as we come back, we have a developing story ready for you. Retired senior DIG Ravi Vaidyalankara is now at the controversy over a statement he made on the 25th of this month. We have Charlene Benedict with the latest regarding the story, but that will come right after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Visuals you're witnessing right now, it's a first in Sri Lanka, the mobile cam technology. Newsfirst is bringing to you it for the very first time.
The holiday of Deepavali, one of the most important days in the Hindu calendar, falls today.
The Deepavali festival commemorates the defeat of the demon Naragasun by Lord Vishnu. It is further written in ancient folklore that the demon requested Lord Vishnu to help all those in the world see the light similar to how he did. Hindu devotees light up the night on days like this, praying that the lives of all would also be enlightened through it. The lighting of lamps to depict the victory of good over evil is yet another tradition of the Deepavali festival. Hindu devotees who light ghee oil lamps in kovils to remember their deceased loved ones also celebrate the event by eating sweet meats. The prayer of all Hindus during Deepavali is that Dharma will triumph and contribute to a prosperous future.
Meanwhile, President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and the leader of the opposition, Mahinda Rajapaksa, conveyed their wishes for Deepavali.
President Maithripala Sirisena, issuing a message for Deepavali, stated that the Deepavali festival plays a pivotal role in helping the people of this country accomplish their goal of achieving reconciliation. The President adds that as Vesak is to Buddhists the festival of light, in Hinduism Deepavali and the deep meaning it has in referencing the defeat of evil by good is a celebration for all. Meanwhile, the message from the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe stated that Deepavali represents the defeat of the darkness known as evil by the light known as good within society. The Prime Minister's well-wishers also added that it is the responsibility of all to be united peacefully in living our lives. Opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa, in his Deepavali message, wished all those in celebrating the festival of Deepavali, both here at home and around the world. In his message, he added that the friendship and equality among races is something that must be cherished. Meanwhile, issuing a message, the leader of the National Unity Alliance, Azad Sali, wished that as Deepavali brings light into the lives of all homes, that it also be a strength to bring health to all men. In his message, he adds that on this Deepavali day, he hopes that all people will live happily and peacefully.
The leader of the SLPP, Mahinda Rajapaksa, visited Pilliyan, who was imprisoned, also known as the former Chief Minister of the Eastern Province, Sivanesadurai Chandrakanthan.
Mahinda Rajapaksa met with the former Chief Minister of the Eastern Province, Sivanesadurai Chandrakanthan, at the Batiklo prison. Meanwhile, Mahinda Rajapaksa expressed these views to the media. We wish everyone a happy Diwali. There is some sad news about the plantation sector. Normally an advance is given for Diwali, but that advance has not yet been given to the estate workers. So we came to protest on that matter and to see Pillayan. We met Pillayan's parents at a meeting yesterday and we came to see him today. Most importantly, I would like to tell the people of the Batiklo district to take the correct decision and not to make a wrong decision.
Leader of the SLPP, Mahinda Rajapaksa, held a meeting with the entrepreneurs in Pasikuda. During the last 5 years, there has not been a development in Batikolo. Other institutes developed except us. Even our parliamentary officers did not do anything. The education, economy and development of our society also depends on your decision.
யாருமே முன்னின்று செய்யல நம்ம மக்கள் தமிழ் மக்கள் நீங்க எடுக்கிற முடிவுல தான் கிழக்கு மாகாண தமிழ் மக்கள் எதிர்நோக்கின்ற பிரச்சனை.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa said that he would fulfill the promises of the people in the eastern province. He accepted all our requests.
இந்த விடிவு காலத்தை எங்களுடைய மரியாதைக்குரிய
We are only less than a month away from the presidential election. Here are some of the views expressed in the political arena.
There are
only two factions. One is the faction that protected the country, the faction that strengthened unity in the country. That is the faction headed by Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Mahinda Rajapaksa. What about the other faction? That is the Putanos faction. That is the faction that has reached into secret deals with the TNA. That is the faction that has reached agreements to destroy Buddhist religious places in the north. That is the faction that let Saharan explode bombs in the country. There is patriotism everywhere in the country. We ask Vimal Veeravansa, do you want the First Lady to be an American national? Venerable Ratana Thera has joined the Pohotua to gain access to Parliament via the national list. Hizbullah is also there. What are they now saying about the Eastern University? What are they saying about Hizbullah now? What about Rasik now? Tell us. The UNP spoke against Mervyn Silva back then. Now he speaks on their stage with his hands around their shoulders. He even sang a song. I stand firm with whoever I support.
As mentioned to you earlier, the retired senior DIG Ravi Vaidyalankara is now at the center of controversy over a statement he made on the 25th of this month. We have Shalan Benedict joining us from the newsroom right now. Shalan, could you tell us more regarding this developing story?
Thank you very much, Sandharu. Now, this is the former head of the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division, Ravi Vaidyalankara. This is the gentleman who has made it to headlines on News First tonight. Why is he on headlines tonight? A little bit of a backstory on how Ravi Vaidyalankara was appointed to the position of the head of the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division. He was appointed to this position shortly after the government of good governance came into power back in 2015. However, when he was appointed and during his tenure, political representatives, political activists and representatives of the civil society raised serious questions about case files at the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division going missing. Now, Ravi Vaidyalankara was due to end his term as the head of the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division in June 2018. But however, he was granted a service extension of 9 months. Now, it must be noted that this service extension was granted based on cabinet approval alone, and the president strongly objected to granting this service extension. However, At the end of this 9-month service extension that was granted to Ravi Vaidya he was not granted a second service extension. That was in February this year, which resulted in him retiring. However, what has now happened to former head
filed at the police FCID after he was given a service extension and had to retire because he was denied a second service extension? He should have thought about it back then, but we must remind him that he should be aware of how he received certain amounts of money. I believe the watch on his wrist is worth over 2.5 to 3 million rupees. We filed a case against Lanka Transformers Limited. There is a case ongoing in court now. I was the one who filed the complaint. Ravi Vaidya had summoned the accused in this complaint and asked them to come to a settlement. He had done this in my absence. What is the right that Ravi Vaidya has to summon the accused in the complaint that I filed and ask them to settle the matter with me without conducting investigations on the complaint? This is how he struck deals. 22 million Hong Kong dollars sent from a Hong Kong bank, a total of 4 billion rupees was deposited in 2 bank accounts. Relatives of the Rajapaksa family are the owners of these accounts. When Rajapaksa lost the election on the 8th of January 2015, a person took Ranil Wickramasinghe to hold discussions with Mahinda Rajapaksa. Do you remember that? Thirunadesan, the person who struck deals with Basil Rajapaksa and took commission. There is an account of a company under the name of Thirunadesan. It has $22 million in it. This money has been distributed through this company. Using this money, Ravi Vaidya travelled to Hong Kong recently. We received information that he has struck a deal with Thirunadesan. If you said back then that you are not being allowed to investigate these complaints, we would have at least been able to tell the country about it.
Thieves have got hold of Ravi Vaidya, who was supposed to nab thieves. He was bought for money and now he's not even here in the country. He has retired from the FCID. He had hidden all the cases against Mahinda Rajapaksa and his group and did not conduct the investigations properly. Then the Attorney General's department cannot file charges. Now an order has been issued for his wife and son to appear in court. Now he is saying that we asked him to go after Rajapaksa.
Now, Ravi Vaidya and his wife has left the country against a backdrop where members of Ravi Vaidya family have been named as suspects in a money laundering case. Of course, the Sunday Times today reported in detail about this specific incident. Ravi Vaidya had made a statement to the media previously criticizing the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division. Of course, to give you the details of the sequence of events that unfolded, there has been controversy surrounding retired senior DIG Ravi Vaidya since he made a statement on the 25th of this month, and it was aired on electronic media. Now, the retired senior DIG in this investigation division, to which he provided leadership throughout the past 4 years, and he criticized it. In addition, he claimed that there was political pressure when it came to conducting investigations regarding the complaints that were filed at the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division. He also said that there was no adequate evidence to arrest anyone regarding the MIG deal. Now, the CID has uncovered at present that after making this statement, Ravi Vaidya and his wife had travelled to Dubai. Now, at the time the duo were leaving the country, the CID also presented an investigation report regarding the connections of the Vaidya family with a person with alleged connections to international crime. Now, the report submitted by the CID says that the people with whom the Vaidya family has held dealings with had defrauded $54 million under the guise of being a New York Central Reserve Bank. Now, it further states that a person by the name of Renzi Mahesh Kumar Edwards, along with a few others, had directed these funds to Sri Lanka to be laundered. Now, the US judiciary has made a request from Sri Lanka to freeze 6 suspicious bank accounts connected with this case. Now, it further states, now the US has made this request, of course, under the Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Convention. This particular financial crime had taken place under the guise of investments being done in land in Sri Lanka, using funds from the tax collected in Alamo, New Mexico in the United States. Now, the CID informed court that Stanley David Herrera, the head of the particular city, and Renzi Mahesh Kumar Edwards had signed an agreement on the 1st of October 2013. Renzi Mahesh Kumar Edwards and his wife Punya Edwards, along with a few others, had commenced buying property and other assets in Sri Lanka using 5.8 billion rupees that they received from this agreement. Now, a majority of that property had been purchased under the name of the spouse of Ravi Vaidyalankara, namely the spouse of the suspect Punya Edwards. Now, the CID, through its report, revealed that this person had commenced a company by the name of Surya International Corporation Private Limited, and this had been commenced on the 10th of February 2016, in which Mary Basilica, the wife of former head of the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division, Ravi Vaidyalankara, holds the position of a directress. The CID report reveals that the shares had been held by both of these people in equal quantities. Now, the registered address of Surya International is located in Monarch Residencies in Kolpiti, an apartment that belongs to a company by the name of Telos Consulting. The CID has informed through its report that Senior DIG Ravi Vaidyalankara's son, Asel Vaidyalankara, is the only shareholder and the only director of Telos Consulting. Now, of course, with the unfolding of all these events, it's quite hard to predict what might happen next. The former head of the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division, Ravi Vaidyalankara, is no longer in the country, and all these information come to light now. However, State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake had this little piece of advice to former head of the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division, Ravi Vaidyalankara.
As our government came into power, we appointed Ravi Vaidyalankara to the FCID. Today, he has crossed over to the other side and he is giving evidence on behalf of the thieves. Ravi Vaidyalankara, I respectfully ask you to go visit Anurasena Nayaka, who is currently at the Kotalaval Hospital. Look at the reasons why he got oral cancer. I ask Ravi Vaidyalankara, the former head of the FCID, to look at people like Anurasena Nayaka who stole public money and look what happens to people like that.
The Women's Balamandale of the United National Party held a meeting in Ambalangoda today. The meeting was chaired by Minister of Justice and Prison Reforms, Thalata Korala.
I'm talking to this, not to the others. Let anyone leave. A dictator will not come into power this time. It will be a people's leader. I would like to remind them that it will be a man who understands the heart of the innocent people. A man who is even ready to one day become a speck of dust. It will be Sajid Premadasa who will become the president. He is coming to get his brother a pardon. This one is coming to get all the government advertising. Nothing much but ones that are overpriced. We ask them to do whatever they want as they wish. We have not gone off with them and we will not fear them. To release the brother, and why? They spent huge amounts of money to get government advertising. Why, when they show the used slippers? I of course am delighted to say I work with such a man. If one has purity within who bothers about the outfit, I would like to say, my dear friends, there's something called justice in the country.
Meanwhile, President's Counsel Ali Sabri would be taken with regard.
My dear friends, before I came here this evening, I phoned Honorable Gotabaya Rajapaksa and asked him, a big problem faced by the people here is the garbage problem. How can we solve this garbage issue, which has become a massive issue? Trucks are travelling through villages. People are meeting with accidents. He told me that the people handling this have messed it up and that the plan he had was different. His plan had been to scientifically process wet garbage. His plan had been to compact it, pack the garbage, send it in trains to Aruakalu and put it in existing ditches in the cement factories. They completely threw off this plan. They have a deal with the truckers, another with the cement manufacturers. They spent about 98,000 rupees a day on about 40 trucks and sent them. The road is broken as well. They have put it where people live and made a massive mess. He stated that when he went to China, he identified a technology that helps wet garbage be processed on site. This would have allowed Colombo garbage to be processed in Colombo. Within a short time of him assuming office, he will put an end to this bringing of garbage to Puttalam.
ඉතාමත්ම කෙටි කාලෙකින් මේ කුණු පුත්තලමට ගේන එක සහ මුලින්ම නතර කරනවායි කියලා තමුන්නාසලට කියන්නයි කියලා කිව්වම
Sea waves had come well into the shore in a number of areas on the Galle-Colombo main road today between the areas of Akurala and Telwatta. A reporter stated that as a result, vehicles operating on the Galle-Colombo main road couldn't travel as usual.
The sea started flowing well into the land in this manner at about 3 p.m. today. Our reporter stated that the speed of the waves increased gradually. Vehicle travel along the Galle-Colombo road was limited between Akurala and Telwatta as a result.
We're now joined by Newsfirst John Fernando with weather forecast.
Yes, thank you, Bernadine. You're with me, John Fernando, and we are ready to take a look at the weather situation in and around the island during the upcoming few days. Now, issuing a weather advisory, the Met Department stated that showery conditions in and around the island will enhance during the upcoming few days, especially in the eastern, Uva, southern, central and Sabaragamuwa provinces. Fairly heavy falls above 150 millimeters. Very heavy falls rather, about 150 millimeters can be expected in the eastern, Uva, central and Sabaragamuwa provinces. As you can see, especially heavy falls around these parts of the island will enhance during the upcoming few days. Now, if we take a look at the weather situation around the island, especially in the sea areas, once again the Met Department issued a weather advisory stating that a sudden increase of wind speeds up to 70 to 80 kilometers per hour, especially in the sea areas extending from Matara to Kankasanture via Hambantota, Batikolo and Trincomalee is high. So, as mentioned before, the weather advisory also states that deep sea areas extending from Kankasanture to Potuville via Mana, Colombo and Galle can also experience heavy showers or thunder showers. And a sudden roughness, as you can see, over especially during the upcoming few days in the Galle, Colombo and the southern parts of the island will experience heavy falls in the upcoming few days. Thunder showers and sudden roughness associated with sudden increase of wind speed. And during these times, especially the Met Department notes that the naval and fishing communities should be vigilant, especially during sea storms or when the sea areas are rough. And if you're heading out, especially during the upcoming few days, make sure you grab an umbrella. Back to the studio.
Meanwhile, here at home, Royal College Colombo won the annual Royal Thomian Regatta for the record 5th consecutive year.
The Royal Oarsmen took home the T. N. Fernando Memorial Trophy, beating St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia at the annual Royal Thomian Regatta. This year marked the Golden Jubilee for the Royal Thomian encounter. At the event held yesterday at the Colombo Rowing Club, the Royalists went past the Thomians with a 32-20 win to make it 5 wins in a row. Sajad Ajmal led the victorious lads from Reed Avenue and Dara Kapiris led the school by the sea. Royal College led the overall win tally 23-22 with 5 encounters ending as draws.
Colombo, walking away with the T. N. Fernando Trophy at the 50th annual Royal Thomian Regatta. Royal College Colombo, if you have the team on stage, please.
Thank you, John. With that, we wrap up Primetime News. I'm Bernadine Jayasinghe.
And I'm Sandhu Ferdinando. Take care and good night.